All right, everybody, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. And if you saw the thumbnail, you saw that we've got an old friend back in the shop that hasn't been in a while, mostly because it hasn't needed to be in, but I'll give you an update on that in a minute. But today's video is actually sponsored by NordVPN. So if you don't know what NordVPN is, it is a virtual private network that helps protect your presence on the internet. So basically it creates an encrypted tunnel for your data, which allows you to maintain privacy while you are surfing the internet. Another thing that it will allow you to do is choose your location in the world, or at least where the internet thinks your location is. So say you want to view some TV programming or some online programming that is not available in your country, you can use the NordVPN to make it look like you are in that country that has the content that you want to view. Actually, let me show you how to do that real quick. So on my computer, we are already connected to the NordVPN network. I guess connected to NordVPN, you know how it goes. So right now we're connected to Miami, just because that's the closest one to us. But if I choose to, we can go over and connect to somewhere in United Kingdom. And then by doing that, now we are connected to the United Kingdom. So say I want to go watch Top Gear a few days early. I can do that with the NordVPN. So as you can see by that demonstration, it only takes one click to change your location on the internet, at least from where your IP address is being created. So there are over 5,500 servers in 60 different countries for you to connect to if you choose to. Also, it's helpful if you travel abroad and you want to watch programming in your home country. It's just as easy to do the opposite of what I just did a second ago, to then connect back to your home network and log in and watch your own stuff. NordVPN allows you to have 6 different devices connected through a single subscription. So if you would like to try NordVPN yourself, go to nordvpn.com/winwithksr, where there is an exclusive offer for you. And there's a risk-free 30-day trial that you can take advantage of. So I think I heard somebody get here a minute ago. Of course, I'm here in the shop early, but we're gonna be doing some work on the lawn dart today. Got a few different things to show you guys. Maybe you haven't seen that car, but let's get out there and get to it. All right, well, we've made it out into the shop where, as you saw in the thumbnail, we've got the lawn dart back in. And yeah, the front end's off of it. See some of the trick little covers that Dick made while he was running the car. And actually this very functional chin spoiler, because this thing's fast enough, it was trying to take off like an airplane at the top end.
It was getting light. It was getting big light time.
And if you guys didn't know, Dick used to fly fighter pilots. He's kind of a big deal.
Fighter planes.
Fighter jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say that right, but he flew fighter jets. That's awesome. And he wanted some of that thrill back, so he built this car. And we've got some changes we're making. First thing you can see is some TBM brakes. And we've got to do a little trickery to this bracket still, because where's your wheel speed sensor? Right here. So I had added a wheel speed sensor. So on the old brake setup, we were using this wheel speed sensor to hit the back of the lug nuts or the wheel studs. Well, this setup, the TBMs are a little different in that it's got a little bolt that holds the rotor to the bracket here, or the hub. So we're gonna drill and mount this speed sensor somewhere right through this bracket again. But with just little things. They do have a wheel speed sensor kit for this, but we only have to drill a hole and tap it, and we're back to being the same as we had before. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll have to get the other bracket, but I think it will work. But similar to what we did with Soccer Mom, this is about to go away because Dick wants to go faster. Both him and his sons drive this thing, which is kind of one of the cool things about this project. If you didn't see the original video on this car, you actually took your driver's license test in this car, right?
Yep, 1973 I took my driver's license test at 15 in this very car.
She's a little faster than she was back then. And then what, it sat in the yard for years?
Yeah, it sat behind my parents' garage for 22 years. And the boys pulled it out almost exactly 6 years ago. And we started working on it. Started bugging Kevin about getting it in the shop.
And
Finally
now it's this. And it's so fast it made Jack Stan Jimmy take the turbos off of his car. Like, and Dick wore him out. And Jack Stan's now changing, putting nitrous back on the car. He might see that and think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think you will.
So, super basic, similar combination to what Soccer Mom was. Stock block, 5.3. This thing actually even has a stock crankshaft in it. And it's the fastest car that we've done. Like in this configuration, aside from like Will's car way back in the day, but faster than Soccer Mom has been. You can see it's got an alternator on it, so it's all self-sustaining. Like the thing's been, knock on wood, very, a little bit of maintenance.
Yeah, we had one shock bolt we broke on it, and other than that, we haven't done anything except change oil and put some new plugs in it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Keeps the battery charged all by itself. Ran it on the 1 ethanol E90 fuel.
Yeah, 1 ethanol R117. That's the fuel we still use today.
So the plan to go faster, take the intercooler off, go with methanol. Remove the radiator, because it's originally we were thinking maybe do some drag and drive stuff with it, and there's always the option of going back to that by putting a radiator back in it, but we're going to keep the alternator but do an alcohol conversion, so the charge pipe will just go right to the throttle body, removes all that weight, and what that'll do is if he does decide to do a drag and drive thing, well, we can just put the radiator back in down there instead of it being all crammed in here, because it fit really tight. And you can see we made like some fences to catch the air and make sure it would go through the radiator. It's even sealed off back there in the back, which I don't know if you can see or not. Yeah, you can kind of see we made even a little cover. Okay, there's a piece of something in there, like oh, it's one of the seals, I think. Yeah. Looks like it shook off the side or something. But you can see it's all kind of sealed off to take advantage of the air coming into the grill, and I think it did a pretty good job.
Yeah, we never had a problem with that.
Cool deal, but we may end up needing to make the fuel cell a little bigger, but maybe not. That's a decent sized fuel cell.
Yeah, it's 3.3 gallons right now.
Sweet.
And we plan to push to the lanes and then drive back. We were driving to the lanes and then driving back, but I think this year what we're going to do is push the lanes to have a little bit more consistency in what we're doing.
Have the same fuel load in it every time, all that stuff. So along with the alcohol conversion, we're actually doing a new injector harness with larger wire and doing the injector driver module that Holley sells, because in doing that you can really smash a whole lot of, it's like you've got work to do or something. So the injector driver module, you can tune the amount of amperage that goes to the injectors. And because we're gonna have giant injectors in this thing, we wanna make sure they're getting enough power to function. So this box allows us the ability to do that. And we wanna have larger wire to go along with that. We're also adding the EGT module. You see Dick's already got them both mounted on a fancy little carbon fiber bracket. But I don't know if maybe you haven't seen this car, but this 25.3 spec roll cage, and kind of just like Sean's car there, has all carbon fiber tubs in the back of it. Really turned out really nice. It still is on leaf springs, which maybe we run it up in the air and show you guys underneath it. The transmission's out right now because since we had some downtime, thought it'd be a good idea to send it out and have the transmission gone through, which y'all put like 120 runs on this thing?
No, it's only got about 90.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did a fluid change about 50, and I mean, they said the transmission's in great shape, so we were treating it nice, keeping our temperatures in order. We got a good cooler on the back, and this year we're going to be pushing it harder, so we have an external cooler this year. Cool. Between rounds.
So another thing that, you know, they've been running the Florida No Time shootouts with this, as well as, you know, a lot of testing and tuning to optimize the combination. But there's a class Dick's had his eye on. It's called limited drag radial, and it is, you know, a heads up class, lots of rules. But as it turns out, the car kind of fits the rules pretty close.
Yep, it fits real well.
So he's going to step up into that next year. And CJ just loves making noise, which may mean a turbo change. Which, if you look, this turbo got a couple of dings on it. The old turbo wheel. This is an 88 millimeter. Which, can you run it? I guess you could run an 88. No, that's X275. You don't want to run an 88 in LDR because you'll just get outran.
Yeah, and the weight breaks at 98. So if you go above a 98, then you add 100 pounds extra, which
Gotcha.
we feel like that's what we'll do. The 98's a great combo, especially if we step up to a larger engine. But we feel like the bigger turbo will give us offset that 100 pounds. And of course, they just took away the weight break for the 275 tire.
Yep.
So we should be right at legal weight. I mean, we might even have to add a couple of pounds here to be right at legal weight.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, Dick also has a YouTube channel just where they document their fun that they have with the lawn dart. And like I said a minute ago, it's him and his two sons that drive the car and take care of it and crew it and pretty much do everything with it. We helped them get it going, and then I'm always here for Dick to bounce data logs and ideas and tuning off of, but he's totally taken the reins of the car and has been stupid fast with it. It's been what, 108 to 60 foot?
Yeah, it's been 108 several times. So we got that, you know, but you know, as with anything, the further you push in the 60-foot time, the less consistent you get.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you usually back it off a little bit when it comes to racing time, and you shoot for the 109s, 111s type stuff. That way we're not throwing a pass out the window. And I don't think we'll need a whole lot more this next year. So we'll be able to keep our setup, our suspension setup, relatively the same.
Just need a lot more power after the 60 foot. So that's what we're doing in here right now with it. More power and more data with the EGTs. So then you can start tuning individual cylinders, and then having the methanol conversion on it. That'll be a big deal for making some more power and obviously losing some weight, because that sucker right there is not light. And what we're figuring, we got probably 10 pounds with the TBM brakes.
We got 12.8 exactly.
12.8.
So, and we're going to lose probably around 60 pounds with the intercooler and radiator, because at first we're just going to run it dry. So until we get a handle on everything, and then if we do go up in turbo size, we'll get a billet center section as well as lightweight exhaust housing. That'll save us about another 25 pounds.
Sweet.
So we're going to be right at 100 pounds off the nose of the car, which we got to be careful with because it's prone to wheelie anyway. But you know, we have the loop sensor for wheelie control.
Oh yeah, check that out.
We're actually going to get the new one that has track temp that goes with it.
Oops. There's the wheelie sensor right there. So this is measuring distance from here to the ground. And I mean, basically what it outputs is just a voltage to the computer. The computer interprets that voltage how you tell it to. And then based on, say, a certain dimension or a certain voltage or however you program it, it'll start pulling timing out so you guys don't, you know, do those big ugly wheelie things. Because wheelies look cool in pictures, but they're typically very bad for stuff, as you guys have seen with George and the Blazer. But hopefully all that's avoided. You see this thing still has stock front suspension on it. We did modify and put tabs here to mount a true coilover in it. So, but you know, bolts into the stock pieces, and then it has an aftermarket K-member deal under the front that all bolts on. But you see stock firewall with a little recess we did for setting the engine back just a little bit further than stock. But yeah, this thing has been super fun to watch them take it out and race it. And you can see he's about to do some subtle graphics on there. You don't see that. You'll see that later. But little carbon fiber wing on the back of it, parachute, big bead locks. Those are double bead locks too, right?
Those are double bead locks.
Got the doubles on the inside. Shoot, let's run it up in the air and take a peek under it real quick. That's a great shot, Drew. It's a great angle.
You know you love it.
No. So anyways, let's look under the lawn dart, and you can see big beefy 9-inch rear end, which has been so far no problems out of that. The right now it's got the old Bluetooth drive shaft and Wi-Fi transmission, but I think what you're gonna have that back like tomorrow.
Yeah, they once again they were going to build it today. You can call tomorrow and I can go pick it up.
Sweet. So it's an FTI transmission, which you guys saw we put one of those in the burnout car, and Sean's car has an FTI. Spencer's car over there has an FTI, which got a video coming on that one too. You can see some shiny bits in there, but yeah, we'll have a video on that next couple of days. I don't know exactly when, but FTI does a real good job on the power glides for us. And I think eventually Spencer's even gonna possibly switch to a Turbo 400 in that one. He's already talking about changes and the car looks like that. But that's racing. Sometimes that's how it ends up. But you can see all the tubing related to the 25.3 chassis spec. That's the transmission lines there that run back all the way to the tail end for the transmission cooler. Got some camera mounts, which he has some really cool footage on his YouTube channel of the undercar shots of this thing. See the old KSR logo on the rear end. Had some of those plasma cut by a guy, but now we can do those in-house. But yeah, leaf springs, 108 to 60 foot. That's just, I've seen people say I was lying when I said that Soccer Mom would do that. Soccer Mom's only been 109. I think it only did that twice.
I thought it went 108.
No, it's been 109.1.
Oh, okay, 109.
Like almost 108, but I think we only went like 2 or 3 109 60 foots, and then we changed the combination, took gear out of the transmission, which slowed the car down. You know, always changing stuff, but yeah, this thing is really sweet underneath it. Got a good coating of rubber on the back of it. But I got some extra wires we built in case we wanted to add something else back here, which actually we could put that weather sensor on this thing. You see that weather sensor we put on Soccer Mom?
Yep. We're definitely going to do the new loop sensor with the track temp in the front.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
We just got to pin in one more pin to it.
Yeah, and that bundle, it's already got the extra wire in it, so it's just one more wire. So that's kind of neat to have track temp data in your sensor, which you can see that deal there. Having track temp, I mean, more data, more consistent passes, because you can roll up there, and granted you'll be looking at the data after you make the run, but if you walk up to the track and you shoot it with a laser temperature gun or an infrared temperature gun before you ever make a pass, well then you can go back and see, all right, well when I had 110-degree track temp, it would take this launch curve, so that you can go up there and with a higher chance of success plan how your first run is going to go. And then if you make a good successful first run, that just starts your day all out better to where you can go fast right off the bat. And believe it or not, this thing is only 2 1/4 on the piping here. We may be changing this to speed the fuel pump up for the alcohol.
Yeah, we have the pulley thread already.
Yep, you already got that figured out.
Yep.
Which I guess you're probably gonna need a different belt too.
Yeah, it depends on where the orientation ends up with rotating the pump.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because it could go, I mean, it's only going to take about another inch and a quarter difference in the belt length.
She's pretty tight in there.
Yeah.
Although if this pulley's smaller,
yeah,
it can swing out further.
Yeah, correct. And then if we do upgrade the high side, it'll give us a little bit more room because the pulley won't be so big. So we're kind of tight on the top side of the pulley right here.
Yep, she's snug right there.
As this goes down to 37 teeth, it's going to be a little bit easier to get that cross tube in there.
See the double slips we like to use. So there's actually 3 right here. There's 3 pieces of pipe. There's this one, the outer. This one is the middle. And then another one that's coming. It's actually this piece of pipe right here that's all the way inside. And it stops about right there, so that when you push this piece in, it slides into this one, and then it wedges between those 2 there. So we got one there, and we've got one there, which gives it enough movement to where it hopefully doesn't crack. And this thing, as many runs as it has on it, we don't think we've got any cracks, which I guess we'll find out when we take it apart and see. But we're gonna upgrade the wastegate size for the alcohol deal, because you're already kind of losing control of the boost control anyway, right?
Yeah, we didn't think it was going to happen as quickly as we did. We chased probably the first 40 passes. We chased a small boost leak, then we figured out what the problem was, just a coupler. Around that time, we ended up putting Jacob in the car for the first pass that he ever made in it, and I dialed it to go, you know, right around 540. You know, he's a skilled kid, and you know, and ended up going a lot faster because the wastegates basically once they hit about you know, once they hit about 20 psi, they really can't keep up. So you're going to get 30 pounds of boost no matter what you do at that point in time. So we typically run over that, but
it's like if you stayed ahead of it, maybe it would never do it. But then once it built any boost at all,
it
wasn't.
Efficient.
These weren't enough to vent enough energy to slow the turbo down to then lower the boost down that's coming out of there. But
and so we're with the bigger gates. You know, we want to get Zach in the car this year, and obviously we want all to be able to make mid 4.5 second passes or so. You know, and say we did that as a family, so it'd be kind of a cool goal for us to all be able to do that.
Yep. And I think, well, you know, between my channel and Dick's channel, you'll be able to see it on there. I think that'll probably wrap up this video on at least catching up with the lawn dart. Maybe next video we'll actually show some of the work we got going on, do some time lapses, you know, how we normally do it on this channel. So appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. Go check out Dick's channel. I'll put a link in the description down here so you can see some of the videos that he's cataloged up over the probably a year. He's been kind of plunking around with the YouTube channel. So yeah, that'll do it for this one. We'll see you guys next time.